Here are the most recent deaths in the national news, as reported at Legacy.com at the end of September and beginning of October 2025. Legacy.com is where you can find any obituary or publish an obituary in any local community in America and beyond. Footballer Billy Vigar died September 25, 2025, after an on-field accident during a match at the age of 21. He was a rising star who played in the Arsenal Football Club's youth system. Vigar is also being remembered as a player for Hastings United, Eastbourne Borough, and Chichester City. Pastor Voddie Baucham died September 25, 2025, after an emergency medical incident at the age of 56. He was a prominent Reformed Baptist leader who preached around the world and was the founding president of Founders Seminary in Cape Coral, Florida. Baucham is being remembered for his best-selling books, including Family-Driven Faith and Fault Lines. Musician Danny Thompson died September 23, 2025, at his home in Rickmansworth, Hertfordshire, England, at the age of 86. He was a double bassist who co-founded the British folk rock band Pentangle, known for such songs as Light Flight and Once I Had a Sweetheart. Thompson is also being remembered for his work with such artists as Kate Bush, Richard Thompson, Peter Gabriel, and many others. World War II veteran George Hardy died September 25, 2025, at the age of 100. He joined the U.S. Army Air Corps in 1943 and trained as one of the Tuskegee Airmen. He was just 19 when he made his first combat flight, the youngest Tuskegee Airman to take to the skies in combat. After World War II, he remained in the U.S. Air Force and flew 45 combat missions in the Korean War, as well as 70 in the Vietnam War. His many military honors include 2 Distinguished Flying Crosses and the Legion of Merit. Hardy is being remembered for later traveling the country and speaking to groups to share the story of the Tuskegee Airmen. Pool player Mika Immonen died September 28, 2025, in New York City. He died of cancer at the age of 52. He was a 2-time world champion from Finland, known for his domination of the sport in the 2000s. He won back-to-back U.S. Open 9-ball championships in 2008 and 2009, among many other victories. Immonen is being remembered as the Iceman for his cool precision, which earned him a spot in the Billiard Congress of America Hall of Fame. Filmmaker Henry Jaglom died September 22, 2025, at his home in Santa Monica, California, at the age of 87. He was known for his improvisational independent films like Can She Bake a Cherry Pie, Always, and Deja Vu. Jaglom is also being remembered for his friendship with fellow filmmaker Orson Welles. Their recorded lunchtime conversations were later turned into the book My Lunches with Orson. Actress Marilyn Knowlden died September 15, 2025, at an assisted living facility in Eagle, Idaho, at the age of 99. She was a child actress of the 1930s who appeared in 6 Best Picture nominees, including Les Miserables, Imitation of Life, and David Copperfield. Knowlden is being remembered for working with some of the greats of the Golden Age of Hollywood, including Katharine Hepburn, Humphrey Bogart, and Bette Davis. Choreographer Paul Roberts died September 26, 2025, at his home. He died after fighting cancer at the age of 52. He choreographed music videos for the wildly popular boy band One Direction and their breakout solo star Harry Styles. Roberts is also being remembered for his work with Prince, Dolly Parton, Paul McCartney, the Spice Girls, and many others. Primatologist Jane Goodall died recently in California while traveling on a speaking tour at the age of 91. She spent decades studying chimpanzees in the wild, redefining our understanding of the apes. She was the first scientist to observe animals of any kind using tools, as the chimps used long blades of grass to fish for termites to eat. Goodall is being remembered for her passion for conservation. She traveled the world speaking on behalf of nature and urging us to treat animals with kindness and respect. There are still a few more celebrity tributes, but first, let me just say that some of the loveliest obituaries we saw this week at Legacy weren't for celebrities, but for everyday people like you and me. Those include this beloved uncle whose passion for music led to gigs with famous bands all along the West Coast. This former model who raised her 4 children while operating a popular Connecticut candy store. And this proud Vietnam veteran who had a remarkable 55-year career in construction from operator to owner. At Legacy.com, any family can publish an obituary in honor of a loved one's memory, online and in local newspapers everywhere. Just visit Legacy.com and select your local community. In addition to featuring current deaths in the news, Legacy.com also honors the lives and legacies of notable people who died in the past. Here are some of this week's anniversaries. 1 year ago this week, actress Dame Maggie Smith died at the age of 89. Her prolific career included Oscars for The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie and California Suite, as well as prominent roles late in life in the Harry Potter series and Downton Abbey. 1 year ago this week, musician, songwriter, and actor Chris Christopherson died at the age of 88. He had a country music hit with Why Me, and he starred in such movies as A Star is Born and the Blade trilogy. 5 years ago this week, singer and actress Helen Reddy died at the age of 78. Her #1 singles included I Am Woman and Delta Dawn, and she appeared in movies like Pete's Dragon and Airport 1975. 20 years ago this week, entertainer Nipsey Russell died at the age of 87. He was best known for his appearances on game shows like Match Game, Password, and Hollywood Squares. 25 years ago this week, musician Benjamin Orr died at the age of 53. He played bass for the Cars, and he sang lead vocals on some of their hits, like Just What I Needed and Drive. 70 years ago this week, actor James Dean died at the age of 24. Though his career was cut short, he remains an enduring cinema icon thanks to his performances in movies like Rebel Without a Cause and Giant. Every week in the United States, flags are lowered to half-staff to honor the lives of Americans whose communities are mourning their loss. Here are the most recent half-staff memorial flag honors. Flags in Arizona have been lowered to honor the memory of Timber Mesa Fire District firefighters Brenna Kulikowski and Damon Thompson, both of whom died in the line of duty. Flags in Wisconsin have been lowered in honor of the final alarm ceremony and silent procession at the Wisconsin Fire and EMS Memorial Park. Flags in Minnesota have been lowered to honor Minnesota firefighters who have been killed or injured in the line of duty. Flags in Michigan and Hawaii have been lowered to honor and remember the victims of the shooting at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc Township in Genesee County. Flags in Idaho have been lowered to honor the memory of Isabella Oscarson, an Idaho Department of Lands fire crew member who died in the line of duty. Flags in Florida have been lowered to honor the memory of Florida Highway Patrol Trooper Craig Gaines, who died in the line of duty. flags in Kansas have been lowered to honor the memory of Hays Police Sergeant Scott Hyman, who died in the line of duty. You can read more about the lives of the people featured in this video on Legacy.com. Follow Legacy.com on Instagram and Facebook, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube to stay up to date on national news deaths.